Alright guys, hello and welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. I just want to start off by saying Happy New Year and all the best for 2013. I hope it's a good year for you and I'm hoping it is for me as well. Anyway, I just recorded a whole Tutorial Tuesday and realised I didn't even have my mic plugged in, so gonna do it again. Good practice though, it is definitely plugged in. Yes it is. Right, just gonna open a new document, doesn't matter what size. That's a weird size. Yes, okay, that's fine. Zoom in. Right, I'm going to show you guys how to do a metal texture border thing. You'll see in a minute. It's gonna, you can use it as a border or you can just use it as like random shapes. I've used it before in people's backgrounds that I've done for Speed Art Sundays. So you can go and have a look at the Speed Art Sundays and you'll see them in use there. But you'll also see this on the internet. Just remember, because I did get one message actually. I got a message. Just remember, guys, the things I'm showing you, I have not come up with myself, okay? I'm not like, I'm not magic. I can't just come up with new techniques every day. These techniques, I haven't copied these techniques, but I've been inspired by them to sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? To sort of twist them and alter them, manipulate them. No, not manipulate them. Like alter them to just so they're my personalized things rather than just directly copied from someone else. Because I mean, anybody can do that, can't they? That's not the point of graphics. If you wanted to just copy someone, well, I don't know. I don't know. I hope you know what I mean. Anyway, rambling over. I'm going to show you how to do this now. So what you want to do is do the first thing you do in every single time is just make sure you're not on the background layer, because the amount of times I've started making something and then tried to do blending options and I've just realized I've been doing it on the background layer the whole time. I've got to get rid of all and start again. So just create a couple of new layers there. You're going to need two. Now go to layer one. Um, and what you want to do is you want to get this tool here. It's called the pen tool. Just make sure you're on the pen tool and not any of these. You can, I don't know, you can use the freeform pen tool. All that does is it means you can just like draw your shape rather than dot it out. But it's not as accurate for the effect that we're going for. I like quite sharp, crisp edges when we're doing this metal texture. The way this pen tool works, before you get confused, is it's like dot to dot. So you start off, you make one dot, then you make the next dot and it'll join them up, and the next dot and the next dot and the next dot. And that's how it works. So I'm just going to do a random shape. It doesn't matter what it is. I want it to be quite jaggy, quite harsh, quite abstract, nothing in particular, just quite a random little shape. There you go, that'll do me. It looks a little bit weird actually, but that's going to do me. You can alter your shape to be whatever you want. If you want it to be a border around a YouTube background, if you want it to be, I don't know, a smiley face, your name, anything. It can literally be anything. But what you're going to do is you're going to right click on the shape you've just made and go on fill path. And you're going to get this box here. And where it says contents, under the use bit, you want the drop down box to say black. Yours will probably say foreground color to start. You want to drop it down to black and then just hit OK, and that's just going to fill it in black. Then right click again and click delete path, and that's just going to get rid of the outline bit that you've just drawn. And now all you have left is this little shape here, which looks really weird. Okay, so we're going to go over to why did I just say do it on layer 1? I've done it on layer 2. Anyway, I'll just drag that under. There we go. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, now you want to right click and go up to blending options. And this is where we're going to start fiddling about with things. Now, you can fiddle about with this as much as you want, tweak anything, apart from, and this is crucially important, please do not mess this bit up. And I don't want a million messages saying, why hasn't this worked? It hasn't worked for me. Please do not do color overlay, do not do gradient overlay, and do not do pattern overlay. I know I know gradient overlay is normally my favorite tool in the whole of Photoshop, but do not do it, okay? You'll see why in a minute, but it'll totally mess it up. You'll not be able to do this thing that I'm showing you if you click any of them, so don't do it. I am going to do bevel and emboss because that gives it a really nice 3D effect. Just going to go on chisel hard and increase the depth right up. I also want to increase the size, and you might want to as well, depending on the size of your document. I'm going to do it 10. I do want it to be quite thick and quite bold and quite chunky. I'm going to stick an inner shadow in there, even though you can't see it that well at the minute because the whole thing's just black anyway, so you won't see it. But you will see it later in a minute. Later in a minute? That didn't really make much sense. Drop shadow. I'm going to stick a drop shadow in and increase the spread and the size as we do normally. That gives it a bit of depth. And anything else? I don't think so. I think that's it. So I'm just going to hit OK. Right, now we're going to want to use the layer 2, or layer 1 in my case, because I messed it up at the start. Just make sure, whatever you've called the layer, it could be absolutely anything, it doesn't matter, as long as it's above the layer with your shape on. That is crucially important. Make sure it is above, okay? Right, now you're going to want to, when you're on that layer, go Filter, Render. In fact, no, sorry, I've skipped a step. Wow, big mess up. Go back to this layer with your shape, and in this color picker here, just make sure you've picked the color a sort of darkish grey, and you want to go to this paint bucket tool and just fill your shape in there. There you go. You can see the drop shadow a bit, the inner shadow a bit better now, but just fill your shape in grey. Sorry, totally screwed that up there. Right, carry on. As I was saying, back to this shape, this layer up here, okay? Go Filter, Render, am I blind? There it is, Render, Clouds. And this will give you these sort of clouds, texture-y pattern thing. And what you're going to want to do for a better effect is you want to shrink this down as much as you can without exposing any of your shapes. So that's useless because we're missing out huge chunks. So I just want to position this so that I've made it as small as I can whilst, there you go, that's as small as I can get it whilst filling the whole shape, covering the whole thing. I don't want to see any of that shape sticking out. Now what you're going to want to do is you want to right click on the cloud layer and go up to create clipping mask, and what that's going to do is it's going to suck down the cloud layer. It's going to suck it down onto the layer below that. So in this case, it's onto the shape that we've made. So the clouds are going to be sucked onto that shape. You'll see here, create clipping mask, and boom, it just sucks it round. So all you can see is the clouds onto this shape rather than everywhere else. Now that's going to give it a nice sort of abraded sort of fade effect on the metal scratches, as you'll see later on. Now what you want to do is where it says normal here, making sure you've got the cloud layer selected still. On the normal bit, click on it and go up to soft light, and that's just going to sort of just dim it down a bit rather than being so in your face, so bright. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to go onto your internet. I've got Google Chrome here, let it load. Wow, that's really slow. Is it because I'm recording? Who knows? Wow, why is it being so slow? There we go. You want to go to Google Images, and you're just going to want to type something along the lines of scratched metal texture there. Scratched metal texture is normally a good thing to type in, and you want to find the one that's going to work well. Now, one that's going to work well is something like this. It doesn't have any sort of scuffs or, well, scuffs or scrapes, lol. The whole thing is a scratched metal texture, but it doesn't have anything like this one here. The whole thing is different. Not one part of it is the same. It's darker up here, it's lighter down here. This one, it's an even all the way across. This one over here, again, it's faded around the outsides, it gets lighter towards the middle. That's no good. Avoid things like that. You want it to be even all the way across. What else? Yeah, things like these. I don't know if you can see that well, but there's like a picture of a camera and some sort of logo down there. And the same on these ones here. There's a logo on each one of these. So it's so that you don't copy their photo, which is what we're trying to do here. I'm going to choose this one. Ignore them. Right. So anyway, now we have the selected photo. We literally just want to copy it and paste it. That's all we're doing. Very simple. Just copy it as I did there, and then Control V to paste it in. Now do what you did with the clouds, and you're just going to want to shrink it down so that it's going to cover the shape that you've got. Don't worry if it stretches too much, because it's not like a highly detailed thing, you know, but don't want to stretch it that much, you know. So anyway, I've filled that over now, and I'm just going to do exactly the same. I'm just going to right click on it and go create clipping mask, and again it's just going to suck it down, and then I'm going to go where it says normal, I'm going to go up to soft light as I did before, and there you go, you can see the clouds through it there, and you can see everything, you see the scratches, the grey, it's all there, it's all looking great, it's all a bit dark. I'm actually going to increase the inner shadow I put on this, just because, there you go, that looks a lot better. Now this is where you want to tweak it a little bit. On the scratch metal texture layer that you've got there, just decrease the opacity a little bit, not too much, just a little, just so it looks a little more faded rather than harsh and in your face. And I'm going to do the same with the cloud layer there, because it does look a little exaggerated. And once I decrease this, there you go, it's looking very realistic, very much like a bit of scratched metal. The last thing you need to do is just group them all together, so holding control, click on each layer and that'll select them all, right click, merge layers, and there you go, it's all one solid block. And that's it, guys. It's a very nice effect. You can use it however you want. You could do it as a border, you can do whatever you want, you know, just be creative, be inventive, make it your own. That's what I would say, just make it your own. But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope this helped you. If it did help you, please leave a like. It's always nice to see good support, and all the best for 2013. Let's wish my channel the best for 2013, and I wish you the best for 2013. So thank you very much for watching. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.